thank you very much. Thank you for invitation for such a great event. It's nice to be here. Nice to see you guys after 1 year period. I think that all speakers, not just me, got the email from our dear Professor Jakab with the list of the notes that we should cover during our presentation, and Professor Bojic did it very well. I have a great excuse because we are such a behind the schedule, so I can skip some of them, and I see already smiles at your faces. So, but on the other hand, I will focus in particular to one special issue in our country. From starting this year, March 2023, we included to our pension system a new pension. It's called, or let's say, so-called paternal pension. And this is something I think rather unique, that is not typical in the European countries or worldwide. And maybe I will give you some short and brief look at it. But first things first, I will say also some words following the list I got to the domestic approach of social law. If you are an academic researcher, you know that there are plenty of definition of social law, social security system. And each of us, time to us, has to bring a new definition. So, but mostly, and forgive me if I'm wrong, we are speaking about the same thing but with the different words. And the order you got, maybe the simply you are trying the most simply way how to express your thoughts. So, if I had to find my own definition of social security law, I will try to do it the simply way. And I will focus on the word human dignity. So let's say that social security system, social security law is a network, is a legal network that needs to protect human dignity in face of social event and so on. That's the basis. And yesterday by the dinner we have a really pleasant discussion about the platform work, platform workers. And it brought the idea linked to the social security system. Plenty of platform workers do not consider themselves as the employees. Why so? Because mostly it's an additional job and they want to have more money, and if you tell them, okay, so let's be an employee, they will consider it that, okay, you will take me some money that I earn. And the aim of social security law should be pursue these people, that we are not taking you money, we are giving you insurance. And we are giving you insurance to keep the human dignity if something's wrong happened. So, and I have to say that it's not easy part for a social security law, but social security law has to protect human dignity sometimes against the will of the employees or the so-called employees. So, this is my dogmatic approach. Going a little bit further, okay. What is the level of protection in the Constitution and compliance with the European Social Charter, and missed the R at the end, sorry about that. Basically, and it was said before, Constitution made only the basic frame for all the social workers. I think that it is common for all countries that the social security agenda is so in plenty of frames, on plenty of acts, and you need to search and need to somehow theoretically find the basic frames. And the Constitution is some kind of basic frame. I will tell you more about our Constitution linked to the parental pension. But for now, I can say that Slovakia fulfilled all the international obligation. We adopted and ratified almost all important international treaties, by ILO, and also by, of course, our social security system is somehow regulated by the European Union legislation as well. So there is no huge gap or no huge problem in this area. If I may say, maybe I will just, for the sake of the completeness, say that we did not ratify all the provision of the European Social Charter, but it is not something unusual. We did not ratify the Article 31 linked to the right to housing. Also, we did not ratify the limitation of the right of migrant workers and their family to protection and assistance, and did not ratify the right to social and medical assistance for the nationals from the other than contracting parties. But it doesn't mean that they do not protect them anyhow or anyway. So the protection is not just based on the European Social Charter. Moving forward. Okay, so this is the main system of our social security law. The most part is insurance system, and we've got like 5 subsystems: sickness insurance, pension insurance, accident insurance, and guarantee insurance, unemployment insurance. But if you allow me, as I said on the beginning, I will try to speak more about demographic challenges and parental pensions. So what is the background of demographic challenges? I think it's common for all the countries that total population of the Slovak Republic, including the migration, because we still have higher immigration than emigration, it's still decreasing. It's maybe because of the lack of the natality support, nobody knows. It's maybe because of this is the world in European countries. And also we've got a problem with emigration. However, I said that the immigration is higher than emigration. The numbers are almost the same. So if my colleague Mr. Štefko said that the total number of inhabitants in the Czech Republic is increasing because of the immigration, I can say as a Slovak, you're welcome. So this is the main road of our mostly well-educated young people, and it's a problem for our country. But how to act, how to fight these demographic issues? Speaking of pension system, well, the problem is how to keep the sustainability of the pension system without decreasing the pensions and without extending the retirement age. What is happening right now? So our parliament thought that the idea of the parental pension, I mentioned it plenty times, is a good idea. The government prepared an act, and I have to say that some members of parliament were so happy about this act, so they changed the constitution. So the parental pension is right now the part of the constitution. So if I said the constitution is only the basics, it doesn't apply to Slovakia very much in the last 4 years. For example, the last change of our constitution, it's just a footnote, is the right for pay in cash. Really, this is our constitutional right. The funny part is only besides the effect. So because we've got votes in September, so that was brought to our constitution like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, back to the parental pension. What is the main idea? The main idea is that the children in their working age will donate a specific amount of the money from their taxes or from their contributions to the special system directly to the parents. And the conditions are really simply. So the first condition is there are children brought up by their parents. They are in working ages and they do the contributions to the social security system. The second condition is that there is a willingness, they are willing to pay their parents, but I have to say that we adopted an opt-out system. So if there are the conditions according to the law are fulfilled, the parents get automatically, the parents are automatically paid by the children. If the children are not willing to pay to their parents directly, they need to file some documents and use this opt-out system. And the third or fourth condition, the third condition is that the parents has to be entitled for the old age pension, which means they are over 65 years and they contributed for at least 15 years. That's something that I heard before. It's similar to the other countries. And the last one, there cannot be any harm for the children for the future pension. So even if they contribute directly to their parents through the social system, it counts that like they are contributed the whole sum to the social insurance funds. And to tell more about it, I will just say the numbers. I think that I've got your attentions while speaking about numbers. So how much do they contribute? If there is approximately average earning for the kids, and if the parents have 2 kids, it's 36 euros per month for each parent. If they have 3 kids, it's for each parent 55 euros if we are taking account the average salary. This is maybe the main start, and you can imagine if you have more kids that you are paid more. The maximum is 80 something euros per month for each parent. So it's not a significant number, but it's not. It's something. It's nice for the parents, especially if the pensions are too low. To get 55 euros, I don't know how much is 20,000 forints, something like that. So as you can imagine, this new legislation brought up a very heated discussion. And what is interesting, I will not say everything about this discussion, but both groups who like and dislike this new legislation, both of them points out to the discrimination. The first group who likes it says that, okay, we know that during the age that you brought up the children and you take care about the children, you earn less than normally you would, probably that you would, and you are cut down in the pension after your work life. The other group says, okay, but we have the people, they cannot have a children, or they decide to not have a children, or we have a parents, they have a children, but their children are not in their working age, and sometimes it's not their fault because they got some diseases or so on and so on. So this is the discrimination from the other part. There is no conclusion of this discussion. This discussion stays, and we will see how the new government will or will not continue. But if it is once in a constitution, it will be hard to abolish such a policy. And the other arguments against these parental pensions is that there is a lot of administrative work, and the administrative work costs money. And of course, our funds are always in deficits. I'm not sure how it is in other countries, and the deficits just will be increase. So we will see how time will handle it, and if it's good or bad idea. But this is something I think unique in our country. And most popular, last slide, I guess. Thank you for attention.